Good morning, Celtics fans. Another cold, wet, rainy November evening. Celtics drop a third game of the road trip, fourth game total. They're 1-3 so far. Dropped the fourth game to Jazz, 123-115. Welcome to CB on the Seas. Yeah, tough game. So here's my pull-up three-pointer. First point. Today was a example of a complete lack of energy, mostly defensive. Celtics, last year, this team has a sort of signature intensity. I saw a little bit of it last night in the fourth quarter and overtime in Phoenix, but it was totally missing tonight. Complete lack of intensity. When they're playing that signature Celtics style, they're always a beat or two ahead of the other team. Always, all over loose balls, snatching rebounds, moving, moving fast, moving quickly, no hesitation. But tonight was the complete opposite. It's pretty discouraging. Yeah, it sucks. I don't know what the answer is. Stevens doesn't seem to be too bothered. I'm not totally bothered either because I know it's in them, but they're just not executing the sort of intensity that we know and expect from them. And the second point in my pull-up three is Stevens sort of not yanking Tatum when he was getting torched by Ingles in the first quarter. Tatum was guarding him, and Tatum didn't seem too interested in, running around screens, cutting him off, putting up any sort of resistance to Ingles, and it was pretty annoying watching a balding Aussie, swarthy Aussie schlub torching what was supposed to be a future All-Star in Tatum. Tatum's just not shown me anything so far this season. I know he had a great night statistically, or at least better night statistically. He had 5 steals. I think he, technically had 5 steals, but he didn't seem like, I remember a couple of them that were just thrown right at him. Really bad passes. But he did not play with any sort of defensive intensity that I saw. And he's still not attacking the rim the way he should be, and he's still settling for mid-range jumpers, 18 to 20 footers. So it's pretty annoying. Yeah, the guys after the game really thought he played a good game. I just didn't see it. So Stevens' substitution pattern is pretty confusing. He's still spreading out the minutes. He still seems unconcerned about finding signature lineups that he can rely on. For a little while, he had both Horford and Baines out of the lineup when Gobert was in there, and it didn't really seem to do anything effective. So that was sort of peculiar. I didn't really know why he did that. I think the tallest guy out there was Morris, and Morris was guarding Gobert. So that was peculiar. So I think Stevens, he's definitely playing the long game. That's my only explanation. So the third point in my pull-up three is the statistic of the night, and that is the effective field goal percentage for the Jazz compared to the defensive effective field goal percentage that the Celtics have given up for the season up to tonight. So the defensive effective field goal percentage for the Celtics so far has been 48% going into tonight's game, which led the league. Tonight, the effective field goal percentage for the Jazz was 64%, which is about 5% higher than the number one effective field goal average for any team in the league. So that was pretty much the answer to what happened tonight. For a bulk of the game, the Jazz were over 60% total for total field goal percentage and over 70% for effective field goal percentage. So, yeah, it's very few contested shots, and the Jazz were hitting all their shots, and I think that goes back to the lack of connected defensive intensity from the Celtics for the whole game. So the top 3 stars of the game, number 3 star for me was T. Rose. He wasn't fantastic, but he had a nice line. He hit some big shots, and he played 36 minutes, which is way more than he's played, at least 10 minutes more than he's played all season. And he was probably the most active of anybody on the team, except for maybe Smart, but he had a weird line. Smart was 4 for 9 from the field and 4 for 9 from the arc, from beyond the arc. So that means the only shots he took were 3-pointers. And going into tonight's game, he shot 25%. So that was weird. You know, he's definitely one of the weirdest players in the league. Fantastic defender. I would have liked to have seen Stevens put him on Ingles. He would play Ingles a little bit, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more focused coaching assignments throughout the game, situational coaching assignments like that. You don't really see that so far. All of Stevens' coaching moves seem to be pretty vanilla. So it's sort of Belichickian in that way. You know, Belichick doesn't show his hand until later in the season. I don't really know what Stevens is waiting for, but you know, the NBA season is the long game, exercise in patience, apparently. So back to the stars. Number 2 star I thought was Mitchell. He was very good. He went to the line. Stat that jumped out to me for him was he went to the line 13 times. That's what I want Tatum to be doing. Tatum went to the line a lot today, or at least more than he has been. He went to the line 6 times. It's got to be more like 12 times. Twice that. Like Mitchell. Mitchell went to the line 13 times. That's what Tatum needs. And the number 1 star goes to Ingles. He had 20 points in the first half. He totally made us look like a bunch of spoiled little starlets, which I think Tatum and Brown, that's their main problem now. So 3 stains on the game. 3rd stain was Baines with his modified samurai, I don't know what you call his new hairstyle now. It's pretty annoying. I wouldn't mind an upgrade at that position. Get one of the Lopez guys in there. Baines' hands are pretty bad. And whenever he's in, pick and roll and he makes a move to the hoop, he's frequently left open for like the lob pass from the guy running the pick and roll with him, and he never catches the ball cleanly. He can't sort out his feet. He loses the ball all the time, gets it blocked all the time when he's making a move to the rim, and he never dunks it. He can't he can't jump, he can't dunk it. The guy's like 6'11", and I'm getting pretty sick and tired of him. I know there's other people in the league who have better hands than him. They can't, they couldn't have any worse hands. So I definitely wouldn't mind an upgrade at our backup center position. I'm sick of Baines. They got to get rid of him. Second stand on the game was Brown. I don't know what this guy's problem is. 4 for 17. Seems like he's got sort of internal issues, mental issues constantly. He's constantly sort of slouching around, doesn't really know where, doesn't react fast. He's an incredible athlete, probably the best athlete, best pure jumper on the team, probably the best dunker on the team. He had that one great dunk against Gobert. That was nice. How about doing that every time you get the ball? Um, yeah, he's really, really annoying tonight and frequently. I can't stand his lack of consistency and his lack of intensity. The number one stand on the game for me was Tatum. Again, a lot of people were saying he had a great game, and I guess he was the second leading scorer for us. He had 5 steals. He was 7 for 14, 2 for 4. Yeah, but the defense was shocking for me, especially the defense against Ingles. I couldn't stand his just getting beat by this aging, balding Aussie stiff. Anyway, Tatum should be destroying everybody on that floor, except for maybe Gobert and Mitchell. But he's better than Mitchell, and Mitchell embarrassed him. So that's that. My closeout for the night is Cumberland Farms recommendation. It's a convenience store in the region. They really seem to sort of, I stopped at one. I was on my way down to New Bedford today and stopped at one for some coffee. They've sort of had a corporate renovating all their stores. They got some gas, got some coffee. They have really good coffee for ghetto coffee, that is. It's not my favorite coffee, but when you're in a pinch, when you're on the road, you could do a lot worse. And it's always $1, and it's always hot, and the stations are always clean and organized, and the coffee, station inside the Cumbies is clean and organized. You can tell they sort of had a corporate effort to coach up all their employees. They're pretty much all nice. So yeah, recommendation. Shout out to Cumbies. Coffee's definitely better than Dunkin' Donuts. I know that's sacrilege around here, but newsflash: Dunkin' Donuts coffee is pretty trash. I wouldn't wash my lawnmower engine with it. It's an old saying that my dad used to use. Dunkin' Donuts has a cool design concept. I always thought that it would make good race car livery, the whole Dunkin' Donuts color scheme, but I guess that would be another discussion for another closeout. Race car liveries. That's it. Last game of the pretty sad road trip is Sunday night at 9, hopefully after a Patriots win. And that game's at 9 o'clock, and it's at Portland, and that'll be game 13 out of 82. And I hope it's a win, and I hope Kyrie's back from his day off. But Portland's a good team, so we'll see how that shakes down. I'm going to bed. Good night.